Hey guys, I'm Cybertron Zeng here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online VGC 18 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. We are going to get started with today's episode, but just to give you guys some updates. First of all, sorry for the lack of uploads the last couple of days. I was traveling as I was in Memphis for the regional championships this past weekend, where I was commentating, and then I was flying back home to New York, where I'm going to be for the next couple of days. So I have like 4 free days, so I'm going to be spending like the days recording videos and getting ahead, and then like just seeing friends at nighttime. And then I'm going to be going on a small family vacation for a small amount of time, and then going to Hong Kong for a vacation with friends. And so I'm actually going to be traveling a decent amount in the next couple of weeks or so, but I will do my best to pre-record content before I leave for all of that, and just spend as much time as I can possible to make sure you guys still have daily content. And I'm going to do my best to make up the episodes that I missed in the last couple of days as well, so that you guys have extra content as well. But I really appreciate everyone for coming out and watching Road to Ranked in the last 2 weeks or so, as we've started it for VGC 18. It's been a lot of fun, and hopefully you guys have been enjoying it. And like I mentioned, this was basically by far my most busiest school semester, and so I'm finally done with it. Next semester is going to be a lot more relaxed, and that starts like mid-January, and so I'll have a lot more time to just focus on content. I'll be going into a couple of regionals as well to compete, which should be fun, and overall I'm just looking forward to a good time in really 2018 overall. So we're going to get started with this episode with a Spanish opponent of 1637 rating, using a pretty scary team. As always, if you guys enjoyed Road to Ranked, please share support by leaving a like in the video. I really appreciate it, as I would like to climb into the 1800s with this team, but we'll see how far we can go exactly. So, Charizard, Tapu Koko, Cresselia, Kartana, Landorus, and Snorlax. So, typically these team comps, like Tapu Koko, is probably the scariest thing, because if I can eliminate Tapu Koko, then the Hydreigon on my end does a lot of work. The other question is always, what Mega Evolution do I want to bring? Because Charizard under Tailwind hits everything on my opponent's team for neutral or super effective, whereas Gardevoir is obviously a little bit weaker. Charizard can resist it, it doesn't do that much to Cresselia. Kartana can tank it pretty well as well, slash can, if it has Smart Strike, that could be a problem as well. So, Naganadel, I think, is what I want to lead with, typically. I think that plus Landorus. The only concern I have is, I guess, Trick Room going out, because Trick Room plus Snorlax could actually really sweep through me, now that I think about it. So I'm kind of worried about, yeah, I'm actually very worried about Trick Room. So maybe I actually do want to bring Gardevoir to potentially reverse Trick Room should my opponent set it up. So I can go with those two, Landorus and Hydreigon. It just sucks not bringing Charizard in this matchup because it seems so good. It's really tough to give that up, but I guess my opponent does have Landorus and Koko, and I feel like Kartana probably doesn't come out in this matchup. So tough call to make in a best of one. I feel like because I had the dual Mega possibility, like, it makes team preview a little bit harder on my end, just because you can make a very strong case for both sometimes. But we'll see how this goes. I think the thing I'm most scared of is like Belly Drum Snorlax just sweeping through my team if Trick Room goes up, because I don't really have any counterplay to that, especially because I can't bring a Mungus to Spore if Tapu Koko comes out. So I'm going to go with Naganadel and Gardevoir, as my opponent goes with Tapu Koko and Kartana. So Kartana does actually end up coming out. And now the one thing I'm really scared about is that being Scarf Kartana, because if it's not, then I can just safely set up Tailwind, but if it is, I could get doubled up onto immediately turn 1. So let's see. Yeah, I mean, there are a bunch of plays, like Gardevoir protecting here is kind of obvious, so I could just go for an attack. I definitely want a Tailwind here. It's just what do I want to do with Gardevoir? I think I might get doubled up onto, so I think I'm actually just going to go for an attack, because protecting with Gardevoir and Tailwinding is such an obvious play. This could be bad though, and I don't know. I still suspect that it might be Scarf Kartana, but we'll see. Oh, Koko protects. Okay, regardless, this ends up being pretty good then. Let's see what Kartana does. So I'm going to get my Tailwind up, which is good because I don't lose my Focus Sash, but had I protected Gardevoir, I'd probably be in a slightly better spot. Oh! Kartana goes for a Tailwind of its own. Okay. So I get a free Hyper Voice off then. So that ends up working out. And now I can potentially Hidden Power Ice the Kartana slot. I don't know if that would knock it out. It would be close. So at least I don't have to worry about that being Scarf Tana, which is good. Now I kind of want to just go for the Sludge Bomb onto Koko and protect Gardevoir. I could also switch out into Landorus. I don't know if HP Ice would knock out Kartana. That's the thing. Based off who my opponent has in the back, I think I'll just go for the Sludge Bomb onto Coco. And I'll protect. Yeah. Do I want to protect? Actually, I think I'll just attack here, yeah, because I'm willing to trade 1 for 1. And Coco could switch out too, and Kartana switches out, which is even better. Into Snorlax, okay. So I'm thinking maybe it's Snorlax Cresselia in the back, and there's a Z move. Ah, okay. So it looks like that's Gigavolt Havoc coming out. But if I can deny Trick Room, then the Snorlax won't be as big of a threat to me in this game. So I considered switching out into Landorus there, just to take a potential electric type attack. I don't know. I think Gardevoir maybe can hang on from this, because this should be timid Tapu Koko, so it should be max speed. And Gardevoir is pretty specially defensive, so let's see. I do hang on, yeah, that's really nice. So not only do I get the knockout on Tapu Koko, but I also get a free Hyper Voice off against the Snorlax. So, and I get the Beast Boost, so all of that's really good news for me. But the downside is if Cresselia had gone down there, or sorry, if Gardevoir had gone down there, I'd get a free switch in into Hydreigon, which can just potentially threaten a Cresselia with the Z-move knockout, because I think Cresselia might come out here if Snorlax was brought in this game. Which still makes this kind of tricky, because now, oh, it's Charizard. Okay, that makes my life a lot easier. That's really good to see. So because I've got Landorus in the back, I feel really good about my position, and part of that has just been playing really aggressively with Gardevoir so far in this game. I think I'll just sack my Gardevoir here so I get a free switch into Landorus, because that puts me in a really good position. Yeah. And I was worried about Belly Drum Snorlax, but because I got that free Hyper Voice off, and Charizard switches out. Huh, I'm really confused by that. Yeah, I was intending to just sack Gardevoir here, but instead I just get more free damage off with Hyper Voice. I feel like my opponent's been making a lot of switches that aren't really giving him too much mileage. Oh, that's Berry Kartana. Okay, interesting. So both of my opponent's Pokemon have the berries here, but Kartana's is obviously gone for good. Snorlax is going to go for a high horsepower into the Protect. Okay. So I'll take that, definitely. So I do have Landorus. I don't want to give up Naganadel's boost. So I think I'll just hit Empower here into Kartana, which might just knock out. It'll be close. And I either conserve my Focus Sash and get another Tailwind up, or I get doubled up into and get another free Hyper Voice off. So I'm just going to hit Empower Ice Hyper Voice. And if this knocks out, that's probably game, I would think. Yeah, so that's why I opt for Modest instead of Timid, because I like the Beast Boosts in special attacks. So yeah, kind of just running over this game. I feel like the switches that my opponents have made have just made this a lot easier, because yeah, Snorlax just goes for another high horsepower, but I can just Tailwind Protect this next turn, and there's nothing my opponent can really do to stop it. So Tailwind's Peter on both ends. That's really interesting to see the Pinch Berry on Kartana. Definitely not the item you typically expect to see. I mean, in VGC 17, it was pretty much always a Z move, a Focus Sash, an Assault Vest, one of those, or Scope Lens. Yeah, so I'm just going to play safe here. I'm just going to Tailwind and Protect. I could just Sludge Bomb, actually. I mean, I have Hydreigon in the back. Z-move should knock out Snorlax safely, and Rock Tomb should knock out Charizard safely. So, yeah, there's no reason. I'll just Tailwind here and Protect, yeah. I feel like with Landorus and Hydreigon in the back, this game should be over. I mean, Snorlax, even if it recycles, it gets his berry up, but it's not in the range where it can actually use the berry, so then I just get a free switch in, and I can just knock out both Pokemon. And Snorlax isn't that big of a threat if it doesn't get any boosts off. The only downside is if it gets Belly Drum off and Trick Room is up. So I could have Sludge Bomb Charizard there, but I didn't want to Sludge Bomb into it and have Snorlax attack me. I might as well just go for Tailwind for guaranteed speed these next couple of turns. Charizard could go for a Tailwind of its own, but I've still got Landorus in the back, and it's just using Heat Wave here, which is fine by me. So my Naganadel will go down here, but now I get the free switch into Landorus, and that puts me in a really good spot. And Snorlax does Recycle. Yep, that's the best possible play. Might as well take advantage of it, but that's also not really that much of an issue for me, as now I can just bring in Landorus. I think I do have to hope that I hit the Rock Tomb. If I miss, that could make things a little bit more awkward. But even if I missed, like, Charizard Heat Waves and Snorlax returns, and at -1, return Double Edge Facade, any of those, like Heat Wave plus a -1 normal type attack from Snorlax shouldn't knock out. So I basically get 2 shots to knock out the Charizard. So I'm just going to Rock Tomb here, and I think I'll just keep doubling up into Charizard because I don't want to activate Snorlax's Berry. There's no point attacking into that slot and yeah, no Protect comes out, which means this game is over, as I do connect with the Rock Tomb. Yeah, like the reason why I didn't want to just target the Snorlax slot is because if I miss Rock Tomb, might as well at least get another free attack off against Charizard, because 2 Psychics probably knock out anyway, / it puts it in Dark Pulse KO range as well. So by targeting Snorlax, if I miss, then I'll give Snorlax more HP. Actually, I don't want to do that. So we do see the Double Edge, but yeah, you can see like it doesn't do too much with the Intimidate, and even if I missed the Rock Tomb, the Charizard would have taken around like what 50% from the Psychic. I get a free switching into my Hydreigon, then my Hydreigon can Z move to knock out Snorlax, when then I Rock Tomb the Charizard slot. So Z move will knock out Snorlax guaranteed, since the Snorlax shouldn't have Protect, given that it has high horsepower and Double Edge and Recycle. So the last one should be a boosting move. I guess I'll just Rock Slide Hyper Voice. But yeah, kind of an interesting game because Tapu Koko protected turn 1, so I got that free Hyper Voice off, and then the switch outs made it a lot easier too. But yeah, once I saw Tailwind, I was thinking maybe Kartana doesn't have Smart Strike just because you want like Leaf Blade and Sacred Sword instead. So you can see how tanky Snorlax is. Actually hangs on from the combination of those attacks. Going to go for the Double Edge, but it should faint from recoil here. And we do get a pretty clean win in our first game today. It actually hangs on with just a sliver of HP. So Gardevoir mode actually ended up being very helpful. Just being able to spam Hyper Voice was very nice, and I didn't have to worry about getting one shot. And the bulk really came through there. I was able to hang on just with the sliver of HP from that Z move, and that's a testament to how strong Gardevoir is on the special defensive spectrum. And of course, I've invested mine a little bit in HP and special defense as well. So that made my life a little bit easier. Had Gardevoir gone down there, this game could have been a lot more difficult. But Dark Pulse will come out, and we'll seal up the deal here against Snorlax. So do get the win there. Good game to my opponent. And overall, yeah, I think the Tailwind Kartana, like I actually forgot like Kartana even had the option of Tailwinding. I was like, oh, it's probably Scarfed, so you can, kind of snipe the Naganadel. And when Snorlax came out, I was a little bit worried, because if my opponent's last one was Cresselia, then there was the potential to set up a Trick Room. Although it would be really difficult for my opponent to Belly Drum and Trick Room, just because the Snorlax had already taken like 40% from Hyper Voice by switching in. So, yeah. Ultimately, I decided to play a little bit risky with Gardevoir, and it paid off. So, sometimes, I don't know. In best of one, it's always really scary, I think, playing risky like that, but I figured, like, protecting on Gardevoir so many of these times is just so obvious, and if I do get this Hyper Voice off, it gives me so much mileage. It was also a big deal that I was able to knock out Kartana with Hidden Power Ice once I got the boost from Beast Boost, so we're going to find Roman from Washington with a rating of 1499 for our next opponent of the day. And it's always really scary going against like opponents with slightly lower ratings and really good teams, because this team is really solid. And we're like pretty high up now, so a loss would mean we lose a lot of points, and I don't want to lose my points as we climb towards the 1800s. But Roman's got a team of Cresselia, Metagross, Tapu Lele, so 3 Psychic types, Landorus, Tyranitar, and Zapdos. I feel like this is definitely a team comp that I've seen around. So the question is really, how do I want to approach it? Landorus, I want to lead Naganadel, Hydreigon, I think. Just because that puts on the pressure against Tapu Lele with the Sludge Bomb. Hydreigon can Z-move potentially. I also have Tailwind pressure. So I like those two. Definitely want Landorus here. And then I think I want Charizard here because of the Metagross. Yeah, I think so. Charizard's also pretty solid against my opponent's team overall. But the more I think about it, you can make a pretty good case for Gardevoir as well. It's just, do I feel confident enough against the Metagross? Because Metagross probably comes out in this matchup. And, like, sure, I have Hydreigon with the Z-move and Dark Pulse, and Landorus can Earthquake, but that's pretty much... I don't know if that's enough, to be honest. But I kind of want to give Gardevoir another shot, because it did so well that last game. Tough one. I think I'll bring Charizard this time, though. Just because having a way to just one-shot Metagross is really nice, and having multiple ways is even nicer. And Gardevoir being weak to my opponent's Mega does not help my case. So let's see what my opponent decides to lead with here. I'm more, like, the thing I'm always worried about when I'm using Naganadel is going up against a Scarf user, just because that can be kind of annoying. A Scarf user plus like another really fast Pokemon, but I think I should be able to set up Tailwind here in this game. So we're going to see Naganadel and Hydreigon going with Double Dragons, probably my favorite lead with this team by far. And my opponent's going to go with Lele and Zapdos, okay. So the downside here is, I don't know Lele's item, like whether it's Scarfed or not, because if it's not Scarfed, I could just Sludge Bomb. Or Tailwind. Like, Tailwind Protect is the safe play, and its Psychic Seeds Zapdos as well. Okay. Yeah. Scarf Lele is really bad if I'm going up against that. My safest play is just the Tailwind Protect. And I think I will go for that. But the downside is if it's Scarf Lele and it has Dazzling Gleam. The other play I can make is just Sludge Bombing Lele and protecting Hydreigon turn 1. But then the downside is Lele could protect and Zapdos could Tailwind, and then that would really screw me over. So I think I'll play it safe this first turn and just Tailwind Protect. Not the biggest fan though. Lele is quite concerning, so this is where maybe Zapdos could have made some sense. Hydreigon's protecting, so I'm thinking Lele isn't protecting here, so I think we'll probably see its item. And it does not look like it is Scarfed, so that's good at least, because I think Zapdos probably Tailwinds here as well. We do see a Psychic come out, yep. So Zapdos here either knocks out Naganadel or goes for a Tailwind of its own. Either I'm fine with. Yeah, okay. So I'm okay with that just because now I have Tailwind up and I know Lele's not Scarfed. So I have Sludge Bomb pressure. That is a nice Psychic read though. The obvious play for my opponent is to like protect Tapu Lele now and just knock out Naganadel because you've got to be worried about Sludge Bomb. So I could double up into Zapdos if I want to make a pretty hard read here. And I'm considering it. Alternatively, I could protect Naganadel. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to make a really hard read here. I think I really expect Lele to protect. So I'm going to protect Naganadel. And just go for a Dark Pulse against Zapdos. I don't know, the risk versus reward on that is really bad though. But I feel like Lele protects here. I kind of ran out of time. I don't think I'd make this play if I had the turnover again. But if Lele protects here, then I think it'll be okay. So this is kind of a hard prediction. And it doesn't protect. Okay. That's pretty bad for me. But I think I crit that Dark Pulse. Yeah, Lele just Moonblasts. Wow. I'm wondering if it's Sash now then. The crit is very fortunate. As I get return crit, but that doesn't really matter as much. Yeah, I just... And Zapdos flinches too. I mean, I don't think that matters unless I was going for a Roost, but I did not get the right prediction there, obviously. Which kind of sucks. But now I can bring out Charizard. Yeah. And I can just Sludge Bomb Heat Wave. So, had I just gone for Sludge Bomb and Dark Pulse, then I would have been in a much better spot. But yeah, I really thought Lele would protect there. But maybe my opponent sashed. Or just expected to survive. But now I'm just going to Sludge Bomb Mega Evolve Heat Wave. Yeah, so I got pretty lucky there with the crit, because it means in terms of damage rolls, like Heat Wave should knock out Zapdos with the Sun Up. And so I don't have to worry about it as much. And so this will probably be a game that's 2v2 really quickly, depending on how this turn plays out. And nothing switches out either. But, yeah. Like, if I could redo that last turn, I guess I'd probably just protect Hydreigon and Sludge Bomb. Just because Hydreigon is really good against Cresselia and Metagross, both of which my opponent could potentially have in the back. And Lele once again doesn't protect, okay. So, yeah, Sludge Bomb just gets the clean knockout there, so kind of surprised to see my opponent just not protect at all. Zapdos could be faster than Charizard here, so we'll see. No, it's not. And I do hit Heat Wave, so I get 2 knockouts instantly, yeah. Which I'll take. I guess maybe my opponent was like, oh, if you're Tim and Naganadel, then your Sludge Bomb won't knock out, but of course I am modest, so maybe my opponent wasn't expecting that. And no switch outs there also makes my life a lot easier. We could see something like the Tyranitar come out now, Tyranitar Metagross. I do have the boost, so that's nice, and Landorus can obviously intimidate Metagross once it goes for the Mega Evolution. And it is Landorus coming out from my opponent's end as well. So now I have to wonder if there's Bullet Punch or not from my opponent's Landorus. Both of our Tailwinds are expiring. Yeah, I've got my own Landorus in the back, so I think what I'm going to do here is just... Hidden Power Ice my opponent's Landorus and Overheat. No, actually, that's really risky. Well, it comes down to what item I think Landorus has. Sash is the one concern, I guess. Yeah, I'm just worried about Bullet Punch into... Or, I guess I'm grounded, right? Oh, yeah, so you can't Bullet Punch me. I keep on thinking that Naganadel is not grounded. So, HP Ice is a very safe play, then. The question is then, do I overheat with Metagross? I think I'll protect here. So then I get a free switch into my Landorus and get an Intimidate off against both these physical attackers. Looks like Metagross isn't Mega Evolving. Slash isn't a Mega? Oh, it protects. Okay, perfect. Although this could be Scarflanders, actually. It doesn't look like it, though. So I get a free HP Ice off against it, and that just dunks it, so that's game. Yeah, I mean, I did get lucky with the crit flinch. I don't think the flinch mattered. The crit obviously made it so that the damage roll meant that I could Heat Wave. I don't think I necessarily needed it, but I'm not... Like, I don't know how I feel about the turn 2 play, just because I made a really hard read, let Lilyward protect, and I got punished pretty heavily for it, just because my opponent didn't. But yeah, no. I mean, not much my opponent can do. Tailwind peters out, so I'm just going to set it up again and go for a Heat Wave. Or an Overheat, I guess. Pretty fast-paced game. We do probably have time for 3 games in this episode. This game really was decided by that second turn, I would say. Or, I mean, the fact my opponent didn't switch out also made it a lot easier. Because you could imagine, like, although it's tough because there's nothing my opponent could have switched into for Sludge Bomb Heat Wave other than maybe the Landorus. So Metagross is actually faster, so that confirms that it's Jolly Metagross going for the Zen Headbutt, and that almost knocks out Charizard, but is not enough because my Charizard is pretty defensively bulky, even with the Psychic Terrain. Overheat comes out, Tailwind comes out. The Tailwind is basically saying, okay, if you're Jolly, you're going to outspeed, but you can't knock out both of my Pokemon. And like a spread Rock Slide wouldn't be enough to knock out either. So there wasn't too much my opponent could have really done there in that position. So we do get a win there, but it's not the cleanest of wins. I don't like winning games if any RNG is involved, and the fact that, you know, like the crit flinch, like I wasn't in a position where I needed it because it was so early on, but it made my life a lot easier. So yeah, the lack of Tapu Lele protecting and Sludge Bomb just dunking on it was also pretty chill. It made my job easier as well. But overall, yeah, pretty interesting game. I think the matchup is pretty scary because Mega Metagross is really tough to deal with in general, and I think going with the Charizard over the Gardevoir did end up definitely being the right call, and that was definitely not a matchup where Amoonguss could come out, just because going up against 3 Psychic types. So, do get the win there, and let's look for our third opponent of the day, as we're going to find Push from Italy with a rating of 1740, so a little bit higher rated opponent now. Running... what? That's a Torterra! Torterra, Tapu Fini. Oh, please let Torterra come out. Tapu Fini, Hitmontop, Marowak, Cresselia, and Charizard. Oh my gosh. That is a really cool team. Mainly the Torterra, though. I don't know if this is a game you can really bring Torterra. Okay, how do I want to approach this? Fini, once, I mean, yeah, with the Fini threat and the Double Fire and Cresselia, I don't think I can really bring Amoonguss here. Hitmontop, Fini, Hitmontop, Charizard. I feel like my opponent probably leads Hitmontop. So, I think this is probably a game for Gardevoir, just because of the Hitmontop. So, Gardevoir and Hydreigon actually seems really solid. Definitely need Landorus in this match, and then I still could go Naganadel just because that does put Sludge Bomb pressure against the Fini, and I could potentially Tailwind if I actually need to. To be honest, I don't really have a good 4th Pokemon in this matchup. I don't really like Amoonguss. Definitely don't like Amoonguss. Yeah, I'll go with Naganadel, I guess. But it's weird not leading with it for once, just because my opponent's team is actually a little bit slower, so I like leading Gardevoir just because it's a little bit better offensively. It's a lot better offensively than Naganadel. But the Torterra, definitely really cool. The Marowak as well. Fortunately, I don't have any electric type attacks, so I don't have to worry about redirection from Marowak. But this is going to be a very interesting matchup for sure. So, let's see how this goes. My voice might sound a little bit hoarse there. I've been commentating all weekend. Hopefully you guys got to catch that live stream. It was cool to commentate the last VGC 17 major tournament, so that was fun to be part of, and I'm looking forward to both competing and commentating a little bit more in 18. So we get Cresselia and Tapu Fini. Okay, this is where Naganadel actually maybe could have been okay, but Gardevoir Hydreigon I would say is also really solid here, just because I do put on the Z pressure against Cresselia immediately. So you gotta wonder if Cresselia wants to switch out here, because it's gotta be worried about the Z move. As I trace Misty Surge, because I really do want a Z move, but that's actually a really big play, right? Because if I Z move, I probably get Moonblasted. The thing is, my opponent doesn't really have anything to switch into a Z move other than Fini, which is already out in the field, so that's obviously advantageous. But basically, if I Z move here and Cresselia stays in, I'm in such a good position. If I Z move and Cresselia switches out, I might get a knockout, but then Cresselia can come back in, which is pretty concerning for me, because then I lose my biggest tool of dealing damage against it. So I'm going to Hyper Voice here for sure. The question is now, do I stay in with Hydreigon and Z-Move, or should I switch out expecting Cresselia to switch out? That's a really tough decision. I kind of want to just go for it. But I think I'm actually going to switch out. I don't know. I really don't know about this one. Okay, we'll see. If my opponent has watched any of my videos or seen my team, then you should expect the Z move. Otherwise, meh. Ah, it stays in. I guess if he uses Protect, then I won't feel as bad, but I think we might just see a Trick Room come out. Okay, that's annoying, but at least I can reverse Trick Room. Yeah, no Protect. Oh, I could have Z moved there. Unless it was Eevee to survive that / has the berry. No, that looks actually... Okay, I was going to say, that looks like a pretty frail Cresselia. So we see Moonblast come out into Landorus. It should take it decently. No, that's Specs Feeny. Okay, so I'm going to reverse Trick Room now. And yeah, I'm confident that's Specs Feeny. So, reverse Trick Room. And go for a Last Ditch Rock Slide. Yeah, so if I just Z-move turn 1, I would have traded Hydreigon for Cresselia, which works out really nicely for me. The downside is I might be losing Landorus now, but I can't really switch it out safely either. When you consider who I have in the back. So, yeah, I took a little bit of a gamble there, and it didn't pay off, but that's fine. So Ice Beam's going to come out, it's going to knock out Landorus, but I will be able to reverse Trick Room. I got crit there, but that's fine. And should be just a Moonblast coming out. So hopefully no special attack drop, that could be really annoying. But I played defensively, and it did not pay off. Maybe it's not Specs Feeny then? I actually really can't tell. So I reversed Trick Room. I want to bring on Hydreigon this time around. But Naganadel does put on Sludge Bomb pressure, but then you've got Mind Games. Maybe I'll actually go with Naganadel. I just can't tell. Like, I feel like that's Specs Feeny because it did over 50% to AV Landorus. Like, I'm pretty sure it's Specs Feeny. I want to say it is. Hydreigon's really important in this matchup. Maybe I'll go with Naganadel instead then. Because with Naganadel, I can also still just double up onto Cresselia with the Sludge Bomb and a Hype. Oh, never mind. I forgot that I Crit Voice, so I should have switched in the... Yeah, that's bad. Hydreigon would have been a better switch in, I think. I'm just really upset about that turn 1. But I could Sludge Bomb Feeny now, and just... the question is, do I go for a Trick Room expecting my opponent to Trick Room, or do I just Hyper Voice? I think I'm actually going to expect my opponent to Trick Room and just try to reverse it again and go for a Sludge Bomb here. So 1, we'll see whether Feeny protects or not. It might switch out here. My opponent could be afraid of, like... Yeah, I mean, you could be afraid of just me reversing Trick Room again. So I've got that threat. Yeah, I should have brought in Hydreigon, though. I was thinking, oh, I can bring in Naganadel because Cresselia took so much from Hyper Voice, so Sludge Bomb plus Hyper Voice will just knock it out, but then I forgot I got the crit on it. So Hydreigon would have been better just to put on pressure for the knockout and Feeny, which is at least pretty good. So I get a Beast Boost. If Cresselia does Trick Room here, since I did try to reverse it, that would be good. Ha, looks like it is going for it. Okay, so I called this turn correctly. But I'm still not very happy. But now I do have the Beast Boost, so Sludge Bomb plus Hyper Voice maybe knocks out Cresselia this time around. But yeah, that turn 1 was really tough because I figured I really thought my opponent would switch out Cresselia, but 1, I don't know whether it's EV to like survive as Marowak comes out. Okay. So now I think I definitely Sludge Bomb Hyper Voice, and I hope that Sludge Bomb puts it just under Berry KO range. Yeah. Because if I get that knockout and deny Trick Room, I actually probably win the game with Hydreigon in the back. This is an intense one. Definitely intense. I don't know if it's enough. It's going to be really close. I feel like Cresselia probably hangs on, but this time around I can't really try to reverse Trick Room either, just because Marowak probably just goes for a Shadow Bone onto Gardevoir. Alright, so neither protects. That's to be expected. Alright, how much does this do? Oh, I procced the berry. It was so close. I lose then, probably. Dang, that was so close. I guess that's the downside of, wow, I got Naganadel. Does Cresselia... Okay, what? I guess my opponent was just really confident of me attacking there with Gardevoir, because I totally could have reversed Trick Room again there. I mean, now you just Ice Beam Shadow Bone Gardevoir. There's nothing I can really do. So I think I just lose the game now. I could have went to reverse Trick Room again, but I thought my opponent had a very safe play of Shadow Boning Gardevoir and Trick Rooming, because obviously with priority. Ah, that's so unfortunate. I actually did a little bit of too much damage. So I guess the crit actually ended up hurting me more than it helped me, just because without the crit, after the beast boost, I think it'd be in KO range. It would have been close. I'm trying to see if there's any out here. I'll at least double protect here, I think. Yeah, because I think if I get that knockout, the Hydreigon just beats both of my opponent's Pokemon. So basically, I lost this because I didn't call turn 1 correctly. And yeah, I think whoever called it correctly would have had a really, like, honestly would have had a huge advantage. I figured even if I didn't call it correctly, I'd still be in a good position to win. But if I called it correctly, I would probably just win the game outright. And yeah, I didn't go for it this time around, because I figured, you know, if Cresselia does switch out, I don't want to trade, but I guess my opponent didn't really have any safe switch outs, so I'll just get double knocked out here. I mean, I guess I can try to switch out and pull something, just go for another protect. Maybe if I get like constant double protects, I can pull something off, but right now my opponent just launches offense into me, like there's no reason not to. Yeah, Cresselia just did enough for the berry to activate. I don't get the protector with Naganadel. There's a Flare Blitz coming out instead of a Shadow Bone, so we'll take recoil. Still does a ton of damage to me, enough where maybe an Ice Beam knocks out. I'm actually not too sure. And Crest does Ice Beam into Naganadel. Yeah. So that's 2 turns of Trick Room gone. And if I can get a double protect, maybe. Could I survive an Ice Beam from Cresselia? That's my other question. Maybe I'm not out of it yet. I just assumed I was. I also have to consider who my opponent's last Pokemon is, because I've got 2 turns of Trick Room. It's either Charizard or Cresselia, which I think I have a decent matchup against because they're probably slow too. I mean, you probably just Shadow Bone, Gardevoir, and Ice Beam Hydreigon here. But what if you're really worried that I'm fast? Or not fast, I survived the Ice Beam. You could double up into one thing or another. I think I'm going to hope that I survive the Ice Beam and that my opponent doesn't double up. I think that's what I have to go for. Actually, maybe I should have tried to knock out Marowak instead. Yeah, I definitely should have. Okay, so there's a Shadow Bone. Can I survive Ice Beam? That's a question. I don't think so, but we'll see. Oh, I do actually. I should have targeted down Marowak then, I think. Well, if I get a double protect. Jeez, this game is intense though. Yeah. Wow, it's Torterra. My opponent did end up bringing Torterra. That's kind of cool. I think this actually comes down to just whether or not I get the double protect. Even if I get it, I don't know if it's enough. Yeah. Well, I didn't get it with Naganadel, so let's see if I can get it with Gardevoir. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely game actually, unless for some reason my opponent doesn't knock out Gardevoir here. I just want to know what this Torterra does. Yeah, so my opponent didn't have any safe switch-ins because there was no Hitmontop until that Z Dark Pulse. So I guess turn 1 I probably should have just Z Dark Pulse and it's Z move Torterra. That's pretty cool to see. Yeah, I don't know. I don't regret that turn 1 play, but that's where it's like I don't know if my opponents see my videos or not. Slash like if you expect the Z move and you switch out, that's really bad. But I think, yeah, had I just gotten the knockout there turn 1, the game would have been over because I had way too much speed to deal. My opponent, like, was just too slow to deal with my team. So, yeah, this game, like, I mean, turn 1 was rough, but I still was in a winnable position. So, like, I don't really regret switching out. I mean, the thing I was thinking was if I just had knocked out, like, actually, in retrospect, I guess I should probably just go for the trade. Because if I knock out Cresselia or anything switching in, I immediately take out a pretty big threat. Cresselia comes back in, but then Gardevoir can still reverse Trick Room. Whereas with that turn 1 play, I just didn't get any mileage off, and I took a lot of free damage onto the Landorus slot. So I guess I could replay that, I probably would just go for the Z move immediately. And yeah, had I done that, I would have won the game pretty much instantly. But very good game to my opponent, and well played as well. So yeah, I think the one turn that was kind of frustrating. Obviously, like, I think had I knocked out the Cresselia too, I mean, I'm wondering how the damage rolls work out there, but had Sludge Bomb not actually put it in Berry KO range, then Hyper Voice would have chipped it off and would have finished it off. So that made things kind of scary as well, but overall just a really interesting and fun game. And I think that easily could have gone either way, despite the fact I didn't call turn 1 correctly. So yeah, I'm curious on the damage rolls onto Cresselia there. So I did get the crit earlier as well, so that might have actually ended up hurting me more than helping me because Cresselia did have the berry. But yeah, really interesting game overall. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. We did get 3 games, and I will be back tomorrow and all the upcoming days as I'm going to do my best to record as much as possible today. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. As always, if you enjoyed, please show support by leaving a like, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace.